For all the sacrifices of the Civil War, after it was over, and the North mourned the death of Abraham Lincoln, the real task of Reconstruction begins. Now, Reconstruction is literally putting the nation back together, and that's really a story for the second half of the U.S. Survey, History 111. However, we can discuss some of the long-term consequences of the Civil War, if not the specifics now. Right? The big question is, how do you reunite two opposing forces? How do you make them a single nation? So let's start with the things that needed to be figured out, right? One, what to do with all the freed slaves, right? Second, what to do with all the debt, with all the casualties and all the prisoners of wars. What to do with government in the South. How do you feed people? How do you live under one government and prevent another secession? And how do you install the values for which the North fought in the first place, but not the South? The process ends up being very, very slow, right? Governments come under Southern control once they've agreed to abide by Union rules. So the Union says you can have your own government back, but you have to accept the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, which gives African Americans their freedom and suffrage, but not civil rights, right? So it doesn't give them anything beyond the right to vote. The surprising development is that to unite the North and the South, they have to forget that they hate each other and try to kill each other. Well, how do you do that, right? By ignoring and brushing aside the contentious subject that divided them in the first place, right? By concentrating on what they have in common and not focusing on what divides them. So to unite the North and the South, the first thing they have to do is they have to forget that the Civil War was about black freedom. Right? So they give the government say yes, African Americans get emancipation and they get the right to vote, and then there's a complete ignoring, brushing aside African Americans, saying this is not what the war was, right? And they focus on the shared experience of warfare, right? Which results in Civil War reenactments, Civil War monuments, the idea that the Civil War being about a better time and place, that it's about the lost cause. And that's what sort of Civil War becomes, even though how it was defined in the North was about emancipation, that gets pushed aside so that the North and South can unite again.